What's up? I'm here to answer some of your burning space questions. We're getting a lot of inquiries about what happened to the channel, and don't worry, we haven't been abducted by aliens. Life forms from another planet would have better things to do than watch YouTube videos, probably. Anyway, we're back now and ready to launch into more adventures exploring the amazing world of space. So let's tackle the first question. This one comes from a viewer who asked, how do we know what the Milky Way looks like from space when we can't see it from Earth? That's an excellent question, and you're right. We can't see the entire galaxy from Earth because, well, it's our home and we're stuck in it. Kind of like if you were inside a huge house with no windows, you couldn't see what it looked like from the outside. But somehow, you managed to get a full picture anyway. How? Well, that's exactly what we did with the Milky Way galaxy. We're inside it, and we can't just step outside for a quick peek. But after a while, we managed to get a full picture of what the house looks like from the outside, with every little detail. Sounds impossible, right? Well, that's exactly what we did with the Milky Way galaxy. We're in a tiny corner of it, and still we got these amazing images of what the galaxy looks like from the outside. So the real question is, how did we photograph a galaxy that we're actually stuck inside of? To answer this question, let's go back in time to when humans first started looking up at the night sky and wondering what was out there. For a long time, all we knew was that the Milky Way was a band-shaped collection of stars, kind of like a giant fuzzy ribbon stretching across the sky. We didn't know what other galaxies looked like or if we were in one. We couldn't even see any other galaxies because they're really far away. All we had was the Milky Way, and we wanted to understand it better. As time went on and technology improved, we began to learn more about the universe and our place in it. We learned that we are in a galaxy, and that galaxy is called the Milky Way. We also learned that we are just one of billions of galaxies in the vast universe, but we still wanted to know more. We wanted to understand the structure of our galaxy and what it looked like from the outside. It was like being stuck in a house with no windows and wanting to see what the rest of the house looked like. But without the benefit of walls and doors, we had to get creative. So how did we do it? Well, we built that image slowly over time, using years and years of observations, research, and space telescopes. These telescopes act like space radars. They look in all directions around us and pick up every bit of light and radiation coming from space, especially things like infrared, microwave, and radio waves, because there's a lot in space we can't see with just our eyes. Scientists collected all this data and started putting it together like a giant puzzle. Each little piece of the sky gave us a clue, and bit by bit we started building a full map of the galaxy. They also used some smart techniques like measuring distances and tracking star movements. So, for example, if you track a certain star for a long time and measure how fast it's moving and where it's going, you can start figuring out its place inside the galaxy. Then you match it with other stars to build the bigger picture. Another big tool was radio waves coming from gas clouds inside the galaxy. These clouds show up in places that form the spiral arms, the same arms that give the Milky Way its classic swirly shape. But the biggest challenge, the center of the galaxy, that area is packed with gas and dust that blocks visible light. So for us, it looks like a giant dark spot. But special telescopes that see in infrared and radio waves, they can look right through all that mess and reveal what's hiding in the middle. That's how we discovered a supermassive black hole at the center, pulling stars around it at crazy speeds. By tracking those stars and how they move, we figured out the Milky Way is a spiral galaxy with about 4 major arms, and we, Earth, the solar system, are sitting out on one of those arms called the Orion Arm. Now you might ask, those stunning, colorful images of the galaxy we see online, are they real? The answer is kinda yes and kinda no. The shapes and structures are real, but the colors? Most of them are enhanced or added by scientists to show things like heat levels, radiation types, or gas elements. So what you're seeing is a true map, but made clearer using color. Thanks to modern tech, especially space telescopes like Hubble and James Webb, we're seeing more than ever before. These telescopes are out in space, away from Earth's interference. That means they get super clear views of the galaxy from where we are. They also do something called sky surveys, where they scan every part of the sky little by little until they build a full picture of what's around us. And that's how we ended up with a complete picture of the Milky Way. The image we see isn't just one photo. It's the result of decades of hard work, thousands of scientists, hundreds of telescopes, and insane amounts of data. So no, we didn't snap a picture of the galaxy. We built it piece by piece with science and imagination, and the more we look, the more we discover new things, near us, at the center, and even at the very edge of the galaxy. From our tiny corner, we're creating a massive view of something beyond our wildest dreams. Thanks for tuning in, and keep those questions coming. Remember, if you're curious, you're not alone. And who knows, your question might become our next episode. Until then, keep looking up. We'll see you next time.